Welcome back to Brothers Talking Sports for a Week 6 recap with Ezra. Ezra, how we doing today?
I'm doing great today. It's a pretty good Tuesday.
It's a pretty
How
good
are you doing?
Tuesday. I'm doing good. We're still alive. That's all that matters to me.
It's about another weekend, that is true.
Yeah, and talk about weekends. Let's get into Week 6 of the NFL season. The Ravens win 24-16 over the Titans. Ez, what you got?
Not a big surprise. Ravens took care of business out in London. I was not up this early to watch this game, but numbers wise, you have Ryan Tannehill who goes down. Tough injury for the Titans, but Derrick Henry had a good game. So bright spot there. Outside of him, it was not great for Tennessee. Malik Willis was not in for very long, took 4 sacks. Good passer rating. He was 4 for 5 completion wise. It's just they weren't really able to score outside of Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they had one big play to Tajay Spears. There was a little screen pass, and that was about it that Malik Willis had all day. Titans didn't play particularly well in this game. The Ravens go out there, handled their business. This is a game that should have been a lot. The score indicates that it should be a lot further than it should be, but it's okay. Lamar didn't have the drop problems like last week, so the Ravens able to clean things up and get the victory. All right, the Commanders win 24-16 over the Falcons. Sam Howell did his job today. Three touchdowns, 151 yards on 23 attempts. As while Desmond Ridder was the complete opposite. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 47 attempts. This is definitely not what the Falcons want at all. To have Desmond Ridder throwing the ball 47 times. I don't think any team wants that except if you're the Commanders in this game.
Yeah. Atlanta's offense has been struggling. Obviously, they started out really well. Now they're back to 3-3. With Desmond Ridder under center, he cannot be throwing the ball almost 50 times a game. He needs to have Sam Howell numbers if they want to keep winning games and do well and succeed. Your offense ran for 29 attempts and only 106 total yards. That is not good for an Atlanta team that is usually and should be a run-heavy team.
Yeah, well, this Atlanta team, the reason they threw the ball 47 times was because they had 36 minutes of possession. So they had most of the possession during this game, but yet Atlanta still turned the ball over 3 times in this game. And this was just one for this team, the Falcons. You can't turn the ball over 3 times if you're any team, but especially the Atlanta Falcons. You have to stay on track every drive. Can't get off track, and this is one that the Atlanta Falcons, looking back on the end of the season, are definitely going to want back this game. And they still had an opportunity with the end of the game. Unfortunately, Desmond Ridder threw a pick, but they still had an opportunity to win this game. So not a lot good coming out of this game for the Falcons. All right.
Especially for their first loss at home, too.
Yeah, it's tough. Definitely tough. The Vikings win 19-13 over the Bears. This was another one of the ugly games you'll see this week. There was a lot of ugly games this week, and this is the first one right here. The Vikings didn't play particularly well at all. Trying to find out this new offense without Justin Jefferson. But the Vikings, on their side, they were able to come out with the win. Just gritty, grindy win. And this is probably the worst case scenario for the Bears. Justin Fields goes down, and Bagnet's got to play quarterback.
Yeah, it was not pretty on either side of the football. The Bears total offense, 275 yards.
Yeah.
Total.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Vikings did no better and was at, 240, I think.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, it was ugly. Really ugly.
Yeah, it was
especially
ugly.
And Minnesota with no Justin Jefferson, you have to now either lean back and rely on other receivers or start running the football. And for Alexander Madison to have 18 carries and only 44 yards, he's averaging 2.4 carries. That is disgusting. His long was 8. He had his best rush of 8 yards.
Yeah, no, Cam Akers came in for 1 rush for 8 yards. This team can't get running the ball, and they abandoned it throughout the whole season in games, and this was one of them. They just kind of stick to it because they were winning most of this game. The defense really won in this game with Jordan Hicks pick 6 on Justin Fields, but I think it was Bagnett. Bagnett threw that one. So that's about it. All about that. Nothing much to say on that one. The Bengals also get another gritty win, 17-13 over the Seahawks. As what he got.
Another day, Joe Burrow plays well enough for the Bengals to squeak out a win.
Yeah.
Last week we said he was back on track, and this week he did only throw for 185, but still, only one pick, no fumbles, had a positive rate. He threw 2 TDs. Jamar, 13 targets. They got to figure that out and get him more than 6 catches if he's getting targeted 13 times a game.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think the Seahawks team, a lot of people want to say they're a very good football team. I really don't. I think they're one of the bottom half in the league. But that's just personally me. Geno Smith, 2 turnovers for in this game, which can't happen. Kenneth Walker, 19 attempts on 62 carries, 62 yards. My bad. Tyler Lockett went out there, had a big game. 6 catches, 94 yards, no touchdowns. In this offense for the Seahawks couldn't get rolling. They couldn't get rolling a couple weeks ago against the Giants, and they couldn't get rolling up against the Bengals this week. So they got to figure it out. And yeah, anything else, says?
Not much. No, I do think the Seahawks aren't a bottom few team. I think they're about average if they can figure out offensively to not turn the ball over as much and score. I mean, throwing the ball 41 times isn't necessarily bad. They spread out the ball a fair amount. It's just 2 interceptions for Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker not rushing for over 100 yards,
Yep. All right. The Browns win 19-17 over the 49ers as this was another one of those ugly games for both of these teams. The Browns went out there, really didn't have a quarterback out there. P.J. Walker didn't play particularly well at all. Brock Purdy didn't play particularly well at all. They both struggled very mightily. But you know, this is something we're gonna see throughout the season. You know, can Purdy carry this team when there's no Deebo Samuel, there's no Christian McCaffrey? And Christian McCaffrey, dude, you take him off this team, this Niners team is probably a little bit below the Lions. And yes, the Lions are one of the best teams in the league right now. But they're not the caliber of team without Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is one of the best players in the NFL. Taking him off this team is very hurtful for them. So he's got to get back quickly. But this was even though the 49ers were losing most of this game in the second half, they still had a chance with a 41-40-yard field goal for Jake Moody. Unfortunately, he missed it as well, so yeah.
And I think it was last week with Max where we said the Niners is the best team in the league, and it's not even close. And then this happens, and it's like, all right, now we got to bite our words. But Brock Purdy did not play well. McCaffrey gets hurt. You don't have any Deebo, or Deebo goes out.
Yep.
And you have Brandon Ayuk, 10 targets for 4 catches. What happened? Well, ew.
Yeah.
Why?
It was a struggling game for the Niners. And another thing is it's also not just the Niners, it's this Browns defense that is the best statistical defense since 1971 in just about every category. I mean, they are playing lights out football right now. And this is a team, they just held the San Francisco 49ers, who just put 42 on the Dallas Cowboys. Now they come in this week, they put 17 on the board. This Browns defense is something special, really cooking in Cleveland. Just wish they had any type of offense that was really good, but the Browns were able to squeak this one out, get 19, and that was enough for the win in this one. All right, let's move on. We got the Saints lose on the road to the Houston Texans. As what he got.
Well, the streak is officially over. Rip in the chat. CJ Stroud's no interception streak is gone. It has happened, but the kid did his job. They won. Now, again, numbers-wise, wasn't very pretty. But he threw up 200 yards on only really 27 attempts. But you have on the other side of the football, Derek Carr throwing 50 times.
Yeah, 50 times at 13 points.
And that is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And for 50 attempts, he should be throwing for over 350 yards, which he did, but only 1 touchdown. And very interesting. Yeah. Not a great showing by the Saints offense.
Yeah, if I told you that Drew Brees threw 50 times for 350 yards and Kamara ran the ball 20 times. You would think that the Saints won this game pretty easily on offense, but
By,
they didn't.
20.
Yeah, 7-3-3 throughout their quarters. I mean, you just have to be better as a Saints team because this defense is very close to top 10. They just caused J.J. Stroud to throw his first interception of the year. So this defense is very good, but unfortunately, you have to be able to go out there and score points if you're the Saints. With all these weapons too, Olave, Thomas, Kamara, Sheed, you have to put stuff together. What's up?
Even Taysom Hill out there.
Yeah, Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's always that Swiss Army knife that they've always had, and he's a great weapon for them. So, all right, let's move on to the 4:00 snooze fest. That the Raiders beat the Patriots 21-17. The Raiders move all the way up to 3-3 as the Patriots fall to 1-5 here in this game.
Tough year to be a New England Patriots fan.
Yeah, this is. Yeah.
With a smile on my face.
Yeah, I mean, finally they're bad. Finally, this is probably the worst team in football. I like Carolina more than this team. There's nothing on offense. This defense is terrible as well. You're lucky that Jimmy Garoppolo threw an interception and Brian Hoyer came in the game. I mean, Josh Jacobs ran the ball 25 times for 77 yards, which is great on the Patriots defense. But there's nobody out here on this Patriots defense either, or offense that is a game changer. They don't have guys on this roster. This is probably one of the worst Patriots rosters in about 20 years.
We've seen in a while.
About 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're gonna have to. I don't even know.
It's tough. I mean, Kendrick Bourne's your best weapon. Dude, Kendrick Bourne on most teams is wide receiver number 4 or 5. This
Maybe
team,
3. Maybe.
Sure, on some teams, sure, 3. But, dude, I just can't say enough about the Patriots. The Raiders, they went out there, they did their thing. Devontae has to find a way to get them the ball, though. I know he went down for a little bit with that big hit he took, but they still have to find a way to get this man the ball because of just how good he is, dude. I'm so sorry that Devontae's still in Las Vegas, but they're 3-3, and we're moving on. Eagles lose 14-20 over the Jets as the Jets get their first win up against the Eagles ever. This Jets defense is 1A, 1B with the Jets with the Browns. I'm sorry, because the Browns have, I think, one of the best defenses ever right now. But this Jets defense is doing something, man. They played Mahomes. They shut down Mahomes. They played Allen. They shut down Allen. Now they just played Jalen Hurts, who I think's, number 3 or number 4 right up there with all these guys, and made him throw 3 interceptions. That's incredible if you're the Jets. And
they caused a fumble. DeAndre Swift fumbled.
Yeah, I mean, this Jets defense is doing something crazy, and Zach Wilson is doing exactly what he needs to do, not lose them the game, because his defense is not going to let up any more than 27 points ever in a game. And then they held the Eagles to 14 in this game. It's perfect. It's exactly what you wanted, right? So this Zach Wilson's not losing them games, and this Jets defense, is winning them games.
And without Aaron Rodgers now, Zach Wilson, his job is gonna have to be, I need to put up 20+ points, and I need to keep my team in the game. And he didn't throw any picks. They didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett Wilson really had a nice day, 8 catches for 90 yards. I mean, here's one thing I will say about the Jets that they do a lot better than other teams is they get their best players the ball. I mean, they get Garrett Wilson the ball every week. They get Breece Hall the ball every week. And they make sure the best player has the ball in their hands all the time. And that's something I really do admire about the Jets as they continue on in the season at 3-3. So, listen, the Jets got to just keep this rolling here on offense, and I think it'll be fine. The Eagles, I think, will completely be fine too. Missing a couple guys, and they'll be all right. All right, let's move on here as the Lions take care of business 20-6 over the Buccaneers. Ezra, I'll let you start off with this one.
I was shocked when I saw this stat. I think it was this morning. The Lions are tied for the best record in the league. The Detroit Lions.
I don't think we've said that very often.
I don't know if I've been alive and they've had the best record in the league, but everyone's doing their job. I mean, hell, Jared Goff, 30 for 44, 350, and 2 touchdowns. You don't throw an interception. You don't fumble the ball on offense, and you take care of business. Your defense holds Tampa to 6 points, and they're wearing might be the ugliest jerseys I've ever seen.
Creamsicles.
But, I hated them. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown the ball 12 times, 15 targets. He caught a good amount. Hell of a day. And it's not like he was 15 targets for 7 catches in Jamar Chase stats, but I mean, this is very, very good for Lions.
Yeah, this is a very drop back for past both games. I mean, over 81 attempts in this game passed the ball between both teams. So that's crazy. They really didn't run it very much. Both teams have very, very good run defenses. And I think these are two teams that I think, a lot of people are going to say the Bucs aren't a playoff team, but I think we'll see the Bucs in the playoffs. But the Panthers essentially I'm sorry. God, I keep fucking up. The Lions take care of business here, 20-6, and there's not much more to say than that. All right, let's get to the game. Giants lose 14-9 here to the Bills.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the first week we ever get to talk about the Giants. We haven't talked about them once on these recaps because they're so bad and they usually get blown out of games. But Giants defense played well, shut them out for 3 quarters. And the Bills offense was able to figure out how to run the ball a little bit in the second half and get their guys really going. And that was it for the Bills. They really just got the offense going all around, essentially. And the Giants, you got the 1-yard line twice in this game, and you come up with 0 points. I mean, I think that's the biggest takeaway in this game. Tyrod Spikes couldn't get the playoff. Audibles to a run play, terrible. And then the no call on the end, which is unfortunately just football. That's how football is, man.
And it's tough because you can't point fingers and say, "Oh, it's all the refs' fault." Because, like you said, they had another opportunity.
Yeah,
they should have scored. They could have and should have scored much more than 9 points in this game.
Exactly. They were at the listen, and that whole call, that whole thing in the second half with not getting that other playoff and audibling is the worst. Like, literally, that lost them the game because if you just kick a field goal there, you don't even have to get in the end zone. You kick a field goal there. It's 12-14. All the Giants have to do is then kick a field goal on that last drive, and they win the game. So, it's just so tough, especially as a Giants fan, man. Just to watch this game and know the season is officially over now. It's even worse. Just to let's move on. I can't anymore. Cowboys win 20-17 over the Chargers, though. As you finish this one off here.
I watched the end of this game. I didn't see much of the beginning, but oh my God, was this a good one to come down to the end. It was going back and forth. You had the muffed punt. The Chargers got the ball back. It was crazy. And then the Cowboys didn't have much going on at all offensively besides CeeDee Lamb. Tony Pollard was not playing well. And then he broke a 60-yard. And the worst part for me was that killed me in fantasy football. I was playing against Tony Pollard. Needed him to score under, I think he was 10 or 12, and he was under that until that catch. Herbert played fairly well until the pick at the end. That pick at the end kind of sealed it for Dallas, but very good back and forth game overall. Tough loss for the Chargers at home.
Yeah, especially since you were tied going into the fourth quarter, 10-10.
Mm-hmm.
This was a very good game between both two teams that are very highly competitive teams. This was a Kellen Moore game that I think he really wanted, but this Dallas defense was able to hold Austin Eckler for 1.9 yards per average, and that's a great thing for them. But Justin Herbert, man, had one of the games again where he had a nice one. Even though he did throw an interception, but still had a very good game. Dak doesn't turn the ball over, does his job in the West Coast offense. CD had a huge game, 7 catches, 117 yards for CeeDee Lamb, which is great. This is just a gritty, grindy win for the Dallas Cowboys. And I think everybody knew coming into this game, this was going to be one of those games for both these teams. And it was good to see the Cowboys come out with this one. Ez, final thoughts on the last 3 games we didn't talk about. Anything you want to say on those games?
I was extremely surprised to see the Dolphins go down 14-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, they go down 14-0 early on.
They're playing the Panthers, and they're the Miami Dolphins with the best dynamic duo in the league. But it was surprising.
Yeah, no.
Now they all the way back, and it wasn't even close. But
exactly.
Once they figured it out and did their job, it was a blowout.
Yeah. Jaguars also with Trevor Lawrence beat the Colts with Gardner Minshew. Tough to see out for the year officially now, which is terrible. The Rams win 26-9 over the Cardinals. Great game for the Rams. Went out there and essentially take care of business of the Cardinals.
Cooper Kupp and James, huge days.
Yep. Got anything else, Ez?
No, that's all I got.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for Week 6 recap. Make sure you guys check out the podcast coming out on Saturday. It's going to be another banger like it always is. And we'll see you guys next time.